the slides. So I'm really excited to see so many of old and new friends here in this, and I hope by now we have adjusted to this dystopian place. It's a little bit kind of like, but think of it like it's a space station where you have no windows and you're spinning in the universe, and that's a little bit how it feels. I have no idea what day and what time it is, but I had a good drink, so I had a good meal, and I had some good conversations. And I'm just talking here only 2 minutes. I don't want to take any time away from Erica, but I thought I need to say a little bit about the making of the ICDX, and just a few slides, because it takes a lot of people to make a congress like this. There's a lot of people going wrong. There's a lot of things going wrong. You need a lot of kind of support, and kind of like it. I think that was a good, the best slide I could make in 5 minutes before I give this presentation. And some of the helpers were more reluctant than others. Others came through, and others were a little bit grumpy on the side. But to make such a congress in such a wild place like the Wild West here in the Silver City, you need a really good team. And sorry, I date myself, I'm from the 80s. You need a really good A-team. You need smart, clever, brilliant, gorgeous people, highly motivated and everything. So that's the team you need to pull up such a congress. And but what do you do if you can't find them? Well, then you have to work with the people you get. And despite all the trouble, we made it. And it's a real team effort. And as you know, in every good team, there's one person doing 90% of the work. I mean, that's why we have a team. So we take all the credit, but we have one person working for it. And that one person is Steve Kamari. And that's the picture before the Congress, and that's after the Congress. So now of course you can give him standing ovations, but there's something you can really do which would kind of thrill him way more than standing ovations, and this is become a member of the Dipterist Society, because we finally have a society, and it's international. It's not North American. That's just in the name. That is a legacy thing. So we are an association of Dipterists worldwide, and the most important thing is here. So it's international. It's a resource for all the Dipterists, everyone interested in Diptera, professionals, students, whatever. But the most important goal for us is the next generation of Dipterists. And this is a picture from some good friends of mine. There's always the danger that the youth will become a lepidopterist. I mean, and we don't want that. We need to, I know. And that's, so instead of going to one of these expensive bars and pay $65 for a dirty martini, just buy a membership, and this will support students for the next congresses, for the field meeting. We got 10 international students who wouldn't be able to come. We sponsored them already from the Dipterist Society. They are here amongst us, and I think that's a great start for a society which is just 2.5 years old. So thank you so much. And if you want to give Steve a standing ovation, just get up, and he's sitting in the back. He's very shy. So thank you, Steve. Okay, that's enough. So the next speaker, I had to write it down. Our banquet speaker tonight, and we are very delighted, is Dr. Erica McAlister. She's a senior curator for flies and fleas, and not for bed bugs. Some people had bed bugs here. I don't want to mention it, but at the Natural History Museum in London, you see behind me. working on the collection of larger Parachytera, colicids, mycetophilids, and their relatives. And she's also hosting and supporting visiting dipterists. I can tell that from personal experience. She has a soft spot for acylids and sometimes even for colicids. She loves the outdoors and a good gin. She just come back from Honduras, is that true? Yeah, Honduras, right on the way back. She's heavily involved and very talented with scientific outreach, especially with the promotion of Diptera, having published more books than I can fit on these slides. And one of her pastimes is, and that's a very unknown fact, she likes mimicking Tibetans in her spare time. That's the only picture I can put from Facebook. And here are 3 of her books. She just had a children's book which she published, and this helped enormously promoting dipterology. She's everywhere on TV stations, radio, and everything. And she not only loves flies and science, she has a great level of energy and a very sophisticated humor, British humor. So I mean, I'm not sure if everybody will get the jokes, but she's also a honorary fellow of the Royal Entomological Society and the current chair of the Dipterist Forum. I don't know what these words mean, but she told me to say this. Okay, so here's lovely Erica. Please come up. Thank you.
I hate following after Martin. Can you all hear me? I've never felt less enthusiastic, or I'm so ill, but it's fine because it's all going to be great. Did you all see Martin's talk in Namibia? Yes. Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? So yes, I'm going to talk about the most charismatic. Why flies are the most charismatic creatures on the planet. Or maybe I should more appropriately call it Flies, a History of Hatred. Because I realise that as much as I adore flies, and we all adore flies, in fact we're all here because we love flies. We think flies are great, we think they're morphologically interesting, we think they're ecologically interesting, we think they're taxonomically interesting, we even think megacillia are interesting, and they are. I mean, look at that sexual dimorphism. Can you imagine a dating website set up for flies? I love big ladies, and I'm not going to lie. It's just like, but maybe we're on our own little group here, because if we look back through history and we look back through how people have treated and talked about flies, not everyone has given them the same regard as we all have in this room. Flies have been described as Satan. Okay? That's a really bad starting point for any group of insects to come from. Okay? Beelzebub, oh yeah, that's brilliant. What do you do? Oh, flies, oh, you're the devil's spawn. Yes! And that's not so good. We move on to the medieval ages. And look, these are brilliant photos of how they depicted people collecting flies. Males do not wear this attire. We have a bad enough reputation as it is. If you go around just wearing a t-shirt and that's it, we would get banned from everywhere. But what I like is that he's collecting flies with a knife, with a spear. That's really hardcore. And this is a method I think we should embrace. In the collection at the Natural History Museum, we have this little specimen. It's a tsetse fly. And look how it was caught. Caught with knife. Now, Coleopterus, Lepidopterus, they think they have one over on us, but come on, we're way more hardcore. We need to plan it. But sadly, throughout history, people have been trying to maim, kill, squat, destroy everything about flies. The human fly has the world in its grip. Arise, ye leaders of human fly, and declare war. It's a bit harsh, mate. It's a fly. But still, we are forever trying to deal with people who say our flies are disgusting. We've had these posters. I love these posters. It's all about killing, maiming, flies are disgusting. Look, everything about them, flies deadly as bomber. Again, no. Humans are slightly worse. In fact, I'm going to change one of these posters to be more appropriate. Flying disease, kill the child, save the fly. Sorry to the mothers in the room, sorry. But it's kind of true. I work in a museum. But, I mean, throughout the ages, there's a whole thing about why flies are disgusting, why they're full of pestilence, everything like that. And we see it up to the modern day. Flies are much more disgusting and disease-ridden. It's like, oh, great. Everything about flies is that they hang around with vomit and feces and everything so bad. It's how disgusting they are. We have popular newspapers telling us about them. Yes. I mean, it's nice to read about Nazi killer flies. To be fair, if you're not British and you don't understand what the Sunday sport is, this is some of their other headlines. Or this. So, I know. I'm not necessarily sure we should base all our opinions on what these newspapers tell us. But there's others, like the Mirror. Hordes of blood-sucking, disease-carrying horseflies in the UK. And this is a bit harsh because the story reads, first came Brexit, then came COVID, and now the Brits are having to battle with horseflies. Is there nothing more they should throw at us? I know we've been bad in our history, but throwing all of this at us? And then when things were really bad in the UK, really bad, we got crane flies. No, we were suffering from the demise of Queen Elizabeth II. Our queen had died, and then suddenly, Daddy Longlegs were turning up and fluttering at us. Ah, will the pain never end? If you just look up on Reddit, for example, I just looked up people's opinions of flies. I've redacted this for sensitivities in the audience. Okay? There's a lot of people, there's not knowing that mosquitoes are flies, I'm going to let them off. I will. But people don't like flies. This is a big problem. And even people will blame flies for other things. It's like, oh, come on. Even when it's not our groups, they're saying it is our groups. Oh yeah, everyone loves the bloody honeybees, don't they? Honeybees are arguably good for humans, bad for the environment. We all know that. They're farmyard animals, they've been released by us, they're terrible. Bumblebees, they get everything. They're so cute, so adorable. Everybody loves them, really good pollinators. I can't even tell my mum that I've ever killed a bumblebee because she's like, oh no. And basically that's because bumblebees are like pandas with wings. Okay? We forgive them for everything. But maybe it's about time we started readdressing this and maybe started telling the worldwide public why flies are so amazing. So let's talk about the things that we like. Cute. Ooh. Isn't it cute? It's cute. And then we go, oh yeah, by the way, it lives in your baby pet bunny. So there's a little bit of issue with that. Okay. Yeah, they talk about it being disgusting. No, it's a marvel. Then let's talk cuddly. It is. Look at it. Oh, look at it cuddling up to that little bird like it loves it, like its best friend. Yeah, okay, there's a small issue of draining its blood, but we can move on. And then there's charismatic. Nothing says charismatic as the anal spiracles of a fly. And this isn't just any fly. Obviously, this is the fly. Do you recognise it? Bat flies. Look at it. I mean, nothing is as amazing as a fly that basically, when she gets pregnant, which is not only bizarre in its own breath, she then rips off her legs and her wings, she stuffs her head in the body of a bat, and she brings the rest of it, she sinks the rest of her body in, and all you see is the smiling face of her anal spiracles. That is charismatic. So maybe it's not the flies themselves, maybe we as a community have something to do about it. Maybe we're just not as normal as we think we are. I mean, when I talk to my friends about hoovering mosquitoes off a pig in a city farm, they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, don't you often sit there and take photos of piles of feces? Holidays with dipterists are always way more fun. Yes, I was asked to be a giant fly on a go-kart chasing another go-kart, which is a pile of feces. Years of education to that. So maybe there's something wrong about us. And when I try and convince the wider community that actually collecting flies is a good thing, the response is often not what I expect. I couldn't persuade this poor young creature at all that she wanted to put her head in a net and collect flies. She wasn't happy. And I was like, no, it's good for science, it's good for nature. It's also good for the natural history collections. Because as you've just seen this photo, this is where I want a lot of flies to go. And so when I tell my civilian friends, my normal people, what I do, and I say I'm an entomologist, and they're like, oh, entomology! That's so pretty. You do all the pretty things. And I'm like, nope. This is what I do. And they're like, oh, and what does that look like? And I say, And they're like, so can you sell us the collections? Can you tell us how amazing it is? And I go to the collections and I'm like, okay, yeah. So we have this. Yes. As Ash was talking about micropinion, this is micropinion ceratobegonis. Why would anyone do that? So it's like, oh mate, you're not helping the cause here. And then you've got the slide collection. You're like, okay. It's like, if IKEA did slides, this is what we got. Can you imagine if they did this with mammals? If they completely dismembered all these different things, going, oh yeah, let's put them on a slide. And it's like, okay, it looks great. And we don't just have that, we have the flattened versions. However, these flies were collected in 1680. Okay, these flies were collected in Hampton Court by the gardener of Queen Mary. So these are probably some of the earliest examples of georeference flies on the planet. So they're amazing, they're absolutely fantastic. But we also have these. Is this going to work? So this is a horsefly. So yeah, you can see how some of these have been collected. They're great. I mean, not only that, we have to deal with flies, but basically evolution got drunk and went, do you know what, let's design them for their legs to fall off without thinking about how natural history collections would cope around the world. And so we have now these extraordinary ways of doing this. So we have trying to persuade people that our museum collections are fun and full of beautiful creatures is always hard. That's just one of the problems. You lot, you taxonomists, with your crazy naming. Okay, so yeah, everyone's like, oh, can we have common names for everything? Oh, okay, yeah, this is the near soldier waspfly. Waspfly-like. Great. That is really not helpful. Brunetti, 1923. You'd think that we'd stayed with stupid names in the past. Where is he? Neal's Wikipedia entry reads like, Evan Yu has described over 500 species of insects since 1976 and is known both for his research and his peculiar binomial names. Well done, you. He's not alone. Where is he? Where are you? There you are, look at you. Yeah, so he described this along with David Yates. Where's David? Hello, you. And he basically said it was, the characteristics were very much like the leader of the white walker, typically spotted in winter, crown of spiny hairs, covered in sprinkling snow dust. Now these flies are smaller than average, and they turn other insects into zombies. So maybe Drunken wasn't actually talking about the film, and then we move on to another oddly named. Yeah. It's not the first of David's students, is he? To go and name crazy things after people. Yep. So Brian Lessard published about this tabanage. Yep. Look at that lovely, beautiful bottom. Okay. But Lady Brian wasn't thinking about David. Wasn't thinking about David as well. And thinking about his poem in that one too. Yeah, you know it's true. I mean, to be fair, I can't blame them. I myself have been describing things after my friends, so this is about to be published. It's after Charlotte Palmer, and Charlotte Palmer is the one who organised basically me to be out in Dominica for the last 7 years. I love field work. Do you want to go to a tropical island and drink rum and study flies? Oh, my boss is here. So, no, I was working really hard. But, you know, after you've been in the field for a long time, you become a little bit feral looking. And this was one of the species that had incredibly hairy legs. And after 7 weeks in the field, she looked awful. And so for her wedding present, I named the hairiest fly after her. And she was like, oh. But you know what? We all look a bit weird after field work. So, is a dead fly a good fly? Yes, but only in museums. Because actually, we need to kind of communicate how much flies are amazing, how much they're good. People let butterflies, the lepers, get away with everything. They do nothing. We not only have the most morphologically amazing creatures to deal with, we have the most amazing ecological stories that we can tell about these. We have all sorts of interesting information that we need to start communicating to the wider world. Don't all do it, because I'm getting paid to do this, and, you know, I need a pension. But for example, mosquitoes. Everybody bloody hates mosquitoes. And of the 3,600 species, most of them aren't a problem, okay? Sabbathies may be a little bit of a problem, but they're gorgeous. Look at them. Everything about them. She has leg warmers. Leg warmers. Come on, it's like the 80s in your living room. They're brilliant. We also have things like, another, you know, slightly problematic creature with Phosphippa Maya. But not only do these biting midges give us chocolate, hello. I mean, this is ironic because I bloody hate chocolate. But imagine being able to expand your body so many times your body size. Imagine, as a mother, when you get pregnant, being able to go, it's all right, I'm not just feeding for one, I'm feeding for hundreds. You know, you can gorge yourself to 5 times the size. Imagine just going out for a night out and going, I am not stopping. We have all these amazing creatures. And then basically causing a massive deformation of your own body because of it. This is an amazing thing. Flies, they were born to flirt. Everything about them is about sex. They're great. They have all these amazing ornamentations. They have all these amazing structures. They have grown antlers out of their eyeballs. Come on, this is so weird. It's so unusual. It's so amazing. And we don't tell everyone it is this amazing. We sit there and we tell ourselves it's amazing. We go, have you checked this out? but we need to tell everyone else. And then you have like stalk-eyed flies. I mean, this is just one of the many examples. It's evolved independently 22 times in flies. It's like they just sit there in a bar and it's like, Stacey, have you seen what Jeffrey can do? You need to do it. And they are doing it. And what is amazing is not only are we knowing about these species, but now, thanks to new technology, we're understanding how it's developing. We are looking at micro-CT, we are looking at the development within the pupil. We can see this optic nerve growing. So we can fascinate on so many different levels about these species. Robber flies. They're amazing. And not only are they the most badass predators on the planet, because come on, they can kill hummingbirds. Well, how good is that? Obviously, I have to be quite nice about that, because twitchers get really upset. But the idea of a big fat robber fly coming in, grabbing a hummingbird, paralysing it, shredding it, sucking out its insides, and then dismembering it, I mean, that's brilliant. And the thing is, we are just beginning to learn about them. They're part of the neglected venomics group. How cool is that as a subject matter? We know that there's at least 30 new venoms, of which 10 are absolutely unique to these flies. There is so much that we need to learn about them. So I'd like to give a toast, if you can all raise your glass, to you lot. I should probably say that more eloquently because I'm British. To you all, okay? Hello. To you all, in the King's name now, I guess. But to you all and your subject, and please go forth and spread the word about flies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. Maybe there are questions, but maybe...
Is there no questions? No, thanks.
Okay. You can find her later. I mean, just find her. Thank you so much. I think that was it. Sorry guys. Just mingle, get some drinks, enjoy yourself. Thank you so much.